This event takes place at the corner of University High School in West Los Angeles, California, 60 years ago. It's morning, shortly after school has started. It's 1962. I'm 15 years old and late for class. I hitchhike to and from school every day. So far, I've always been on time. A car that has picked me up hitchhiking drops me off at the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Barrington Avenue. The southeast corner of my high school campus is a couple of blocks away. I walk briskly towards school, acutely aware of my tardiness. I quickly arrive at the traffic light on the southwest corner of South Barrington and Ohio Avenues. The streets are completely deserted. There's not a single person stirring anywhere, nor is there any traffic on the road. It's as if I'm the only living person on Earth. As I reach the intersection, the traffic light is red. I don't want to break my momentum, so I charge into the street without breaking stride. Now, before I go on, I must explain that in 1962, crossing a street against a red light, or crossing in the middle of a block where there are traffic lights at either end is called jaywalking. That comes with a $14 fine. Inflation adjusted, that's pretty heavy in today's money. It's certainly a hefty sum for a kid. The cops are real enthusiastic about applying the law, and they seem to be everywhere on the lookout. Today, the fine is $250 in California. I'm in the middle of the street. The traffic light is still red. When out of the corner of my eye, I see a motorcycle cop sitting on his police-issue Harley-Davidson motorcycle, facing me on the northeast corner of the intersection, a scant several yards away. I stop dead in my tracks, startled. I think, where the fuck did he come from? I certainly didn't notice him only a few seconds ago. How could I have missed him? But now, here he is, as solid and real as can be. In this instant, we lock eyes, and I can practically read his thoughts word for word. He's saying to me, "I've got you, punk." I see him make his move to start his Harley and set it in motion. Suddenly, a surge of energy erupts in me. I can feel myself saying, "No way I'm going to get busted by this cop." From somewhere deep within me, an indescribable compression of energy wells up and explodes directly out of my forehead like an invisible cannonball toward the cop. I'm still standing stock still. It happens too fast for me to comprehend. I watch in slow motion as suddenly the cop is literally catapulted completely off his motorcycle, lifted by an unseen force, and lands spread-eagled on his back, well away from his machine. Transfixed, I remain motionless. The motorcycle is now running and revving fairly high. In gear, it falls over on its side, fortunately not crushing the cop. I see him on his back, stunned, but conscious, trying to move as the engine roars and the rear wheel spins out of control. It is in this instant that the spell is broken, and I realize without any doubt what I've done. The shock is so great, I can't even think, but my body reacts, and all I can do is flee. I'm terrorized by an unmistakable certainty that it was me who did that to the cop, but I'm bewildered how I could have done it. Something in me tells me that the cop will be okay, but I shouldn't stick around. My feet start to move. I take flight and escape from the scene as fast as I can, barely holding myself back from running in panic. 50 years later, I find myself visiting West Los Angeles after having lived overseas all of my adult life. I decide to make a pilgrimage to the spot where this event had taken place. It's a bright, sunny morning. I walk north up Barrington Avenue from Santa Monica as before. I arrive at the intersection of Barrington and Ohio. The scene is practically unchanged in my mind's eye. There are now bungalows at the bottom of the school playing field, and multi-story apartment blocks have infilled where houses were before. As was that morning a half-century ago, there are no people or moving vehicles around. It feels very surreal for me to be here. I walk to the middle of the intersection unconcerned whether the traffic light is red or green. When I get to the exact spot where my shocking experience had taken place, I feel very serene and marvel at who and where I was back then and who and where I am now. Suddenly, my attention is drawn to a marked police patrol car that is barreling toward me down Barrington Avenue at an impressive speed. It hurls by very close, an ephemeral apparition that vanishes as fast as it arrived, leaving the streets empty again in its wake. I am dazzled, yet curiously not at all surprised by this perfect Jungian synchronicity. This is beyond doubt an affirmation of something. I just don't know what.